Imagine a rugby world turned upside down, where the fiercest rivals from the northern and southern hemispheres clash not just once every 4 years, but every 2 years in a groundbreaking tournament designed to redefine the sport. That's the thrilling promise of the inaugural Nations Championship kicking off in July 2026. And trust me, it's going to captivate fans like never before. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this new format a bold leap forward for global rugby? Or could it overshadow beloved traditions like the Six Nations and Rugby Championship? Let's dive in and explore what makes this event so game-changing. Six Nations Rugby and SANZR, the governing body for rugby in the Southern Hemisphere, have teamed up to launch this innovative biennial competition across hemispheres. Featuring 12 powerhouse nations, it pits the best of the sport against each other in a quest for a coveted new global title. Think of it as a fusion of rivalries and rivalries, where teams compete in a structured tournament leading up to a spectacular finals weekend. And this is the part most people miss. It'll also crown a winning hemisphere, decided over 3 days of thrilling doubleheader matches at London's iconic Twickenham's Allianz Stadium in November. Representing the Southern Hemisphere are heavyweights South Africa, Australia, New Zealand and Argentina, joined by invitational teams Japan and Fiji. These squads will square off against the full Six Nations roster: England, France, Ireland, Italy, Scotland and Wales, in a series of 6 interhemispheric matches spread across July and November. For beginners wondering about the format, it's like a league where every team plays a balanced set of games, but with cross-continental travel adding an extra layer of excitement and challenge. Northern Hemisphere sides head south in July for 3 rounds of fixtures against varied opponents, while the southern teams fly north in November for the decisive final 3 rounds that lock in standings and finals weekend pairings. Video. The climax, the Nations Championship finals weekend, sees the top-ranked northern team battle the number 1 southern seed. The victors earn the championship crown, and points accrued throughout decide the hemisphere winner for the year. This setup not only heightens drama but also ensures every match counts, creating a cascade of high-stakes encounters that could swing fortunes unexpectedly. The World Rugby Council approved this tournament back in 2023 as part of a sweeping overhaul to the international calendar. It involved input from unions, federations, clubs, leagues, organizers, players, and World Rugby itself, all collaborating to evolve the game. As Six Nations Rugby CEO Tom Harrison put it in a statement, the Nations Championship has the power to redefine the future of rugby, and the partnership between Six Nations Rugby and SANZR signals a tectonic shift in the sport. He went on to explain that by uniting the sport's elite nations with a fresh, globally significant structure, they're challenging old norms to boost rugby's value and appeal. Rugby's strongest nations have collaborated with a clear vision to grow the game, Harrison added, emphasizing how this tournament will deliver intense drama, akin to the world's greatest championships. The finals weekend introduces a novel fan experience, promising unforgettable spectacles, crowning champions, and sparking growth in rugby's worldwide footprint. By bringing together the best teams and players in the sport, and injecting another layer to the fierce cross-hemisphere rivalries, the Nations Championship will take international rugby to new heights, he concluded. The first edition in 2026 is packed with marquee showdowns. On Saturday, July 4th, New Zealand welcomes France to their turf, a rematch from a 3-test series earlier in 2025 where the All Blacks triumphed, though France was missing stars like Antoine Dupont and Romain Tamak. Australia hosts Ireland, marking their first clash on Aussie soil in 8 years. Ireland edged out a 20-16 win in Sydney back in June 2018, and they've dominated the subsequent 3 encounters, all on Dublin ground. South Africa takes on England in their opener, the first England visit since 2018, following losses to the Springboks in the 2019 Rugby World Cup final and 2023 semi-finals. Scotland's lineup includes away games against Argentina and South Africa, plus a July match with Fiji that could be at home or another European venue. November brings fixtures against New Zealand, Australia, and Japan. Scotland's head coach Gregor Townsend commented on Sunday, "Yes, it's an interesting time. We play the Southern Hemisphere teams at the end of their campaign and they obviously have got really good cohesion and we have to find that. But we'll be also playing them in July when we've had a full season. Playing the top teams every 2 years in this new competition is going to raise the level of performances for the Six Nations teams, and likewise for the Rugby Championship teams. So we're looking forward to that tournament. It's a great example of how this format pushes teams to adapt and elevate their game through regular exposure to world-class opposition. Wales under Steve Tandy faces Fiji, Japan and South Africa in July before hosting Japan, New Zealand and Australia in November. South Africa's July schedule pits them against England on July 4th, Scotland on July 11th, and Wales on July 18th, followed by November encounters with Italy from November 6th to 8th, France from November 13th to 15th, and Ireland on November 21st to wrap their European slate. Sanser CEO Brendan Morris called it an historic and exciting move for rugby that will see the Sanser member unions, with the addition of Fiji and Japan, take on the best of Europe and the Northern Hemisphere on a biennial basis. He highlighted their proud international record and how this competition, alongside the 2026 to 2030 calendar, paves the way for ongoing success. We warmly welcome our Pacific neighbors into the tournament as part of our team. The participating teams are excited, the broadcasters are excited, and the fans are excited, and we very much look forward to July 2026 when it all kicks off, Morris added. Including invitational teams like Fiji and Japan means these nations get consistent high-level matches. Fiji has shown promise, for instance, in recent Quilter Nations Series clashes against England and France. Japan, meanwhile, narrowly lost 24-23 to Wales last weekend in Cardiff, but they last beat Six Nations sides at the 2019 Rugby World Cup on home soil, defeating Ireland and Scotland in the pools. Co-chair of the Nations Championship, Ronan Dunn, described it as a transformational moment for the entire sport and demonstrates the power of collaboration. He noted how it unites the game's finest talents to elevate rugby globally, though he warned it could fundamentally alter the sport's direction for sustained growth. Co-chair Mark Alexander echoed, "The Nations Championship has been several years in the making, and its launch next year reflects strong collaboration between Six Nations Rugby and Sanser, and our vision to deliver the best rugby action at the elite end of our great sport." He praised Japan's and Fiji's competitiveness, explaining how joining provides them with regular elite opportunities. The Nations Championship offers a truly global platform for the sport to shine, and by bringing the strongest rugby nations together into a cohesive tournament format, the ambition to drive game-wide growth is confirmed. As we gear up for this rugby revolution, one can't help but ponder, will the Nations Championship truly unite the hemispheres, or might it dilute the unique charm of regional competitions? Do you think including teams like Fiji and Japan is a fair shake for Pacific rugby? Or does it risk marginalizing others? And what about the impact on player workloads? Could this biennial beast lead to more injuries or burnout? Share your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited for this global showdown? Or do you see potential pitfalls in shaking up the status quo? Your opinions could spark the next big debate in rugby circles.